Hi, this is Suchi and today's lesson is all about sets. So let us look into the set. What is set? You might have already learned set theory in mathematics, and this is very much similar like that, where we can have a collection of objects. And in Python, we do not need to have collection of similar data type of objects. We can have different types of objects in a set. Now, you might say that, okay, list is also there. List is also having collection of different objects. So what is the difference between a set and a list? So let's look into this. First of all, we need to use, let's say we have a set which is named animals, let's say. And how we will declare a set? So to declare a set, we need to use curly braces. Now you might say, okay, curly braces we also used in dictionaries, and the same thing we will use in set. Yes, we will use the same thing, but dictionary, as you remember, it was key value pairs. But here in set, we won't have key value pair, we will have just comma separated elements like list and tuple. So here let us have some animal names. For example, dog. Set do not allow duplicate entries. First, let us see what happens to this set. So as you can see, we have declared one set with the help of curly braces, and then we have given three elements: dog, cat, and cow. And when we printed this, we can see this is not having the same order in which we have declared it. So set is basically unordered. It does not maintain any order. Now let us check whether it is a set or not. So how to check that? With a type, we will check the variable animal, whether it is a animals, whether it is a set or not. So let's see. Okay, so it is saying it is a set. So now we are confirmed that this is a set. Now let's see how we will access this. We can directly print it with this. And now if we want to access any index element, can we do this? Let us check whether we can access any index element or not. So if we run this cell, we will see what happens. Sorry. So you can see set object is not subscriptable. So basically, we cannot access set objects, set elements using index. And why so? Because set does not maintain any order. So index does not have any relevant meaning in case of sets. So we cannot do any indexing over here. We can directly access the elements, the entire elements. So if we actually need to access individual elements, we can definitely convert a set into a list, just like this. And then we will have a list, and then we can also access the individual indexes. But in case we have a set, we cannot access individual elements like this with the indexing. So this is one point. This is one big difference between set and list. That set does not have any order. It cannot be indexed. We can access it as a whole. So there is one operator in. We can check whether an element is a part of the set or not with the help of this in operator. For example, if I want to check whether cow is present in animals set or not, so I can check cow in animals, it will give me true. If I say tiger, as it is not present, we only have cow, cat, and dog, so it will give me false. So this is one way to check whether any particular element is a part of that set or not, but we cannot access the set elements with index. So this is what about accessing a set. But we cannot do indexing on sets. So this is the first thing. Second thing, what we want to do. Now, another thing is set is not, any element in set is not changeable. As we cannot even access elements with index, how we can assign them a new value? We cannot do basically. So set elements cannot be changed, but it is not immutable like tuple, because tuple was not allowing us to delete any element from it, and it was also not allowing to append or add any new element to it, whereas set allows us to do that. So how we can do that in set? We have two methods. So let's add element to set. Let's try adding single element. So to add single element, there is one set method which is dot add. So we have animals dot add, and then we will add some animal name. So before doing that, let us add some print statements to make our output readable. Then we will also add some new animal. Let's say tiger. So let us print this part and let's see what happens. So as you can see, the animal set was having cow, cat, dog before adding the tiger. Now it is having cow, cat, dog, and tiger, these four elements. So we can easily add single element like this. Now what if we want to add multiple elements? Maybe it could be from another set, or it could be from another list. So how we can do that? So adding multiple elements to a set. So that will be done using dot update. So if we will use dot update, and then we will pass any array here. Let's say I'm passing this array. And now if I run this code, you can see the new animals are added to the list. So we can use dot update. Now, as I mentioned, this could be another set as well. It is not necessarily, it need not to be a list. It could be curly braces as well. So let me show you that part. If I am using another set here. So as you can see here, we are able to add with the help of another set also, with the help of update method. So we can easily add new elements, single element or multiple elements to a existing set. Now, one thing that we need to discuss is, can a set have duplicate elements? A set cannot have duplicate elements. So what if I add some duplicate elements to a set? Will it throw error, or will it behave in some other way? So let us try adding them. Let us try adding them initially in the declaration statement, and let's check what happens. Let's have another set. Let's say, let me have some subjects over here. And let me repeat some of the values here. Let's say this one. I think this I have repeated thrice. Let's say, let's take this one as well. Now, what will happen if we run this code? Will it throw any error? Well, let's see. So it did not throw any error, but you will say, but Suchi, you have told that it should not allow any duplicate element. This set does not allow duplicate elements. Then what happened to these elements? So let's see what happened actually to these elements. So if we will print this, we can see it is only having the unique elements. It has removed all the duplicate elements from the set. If we want to remove duplicate elements from a list, and if the order does not matter, in that scenario, we can easily use this technique that we can convert a list to a set and then convert it back to a list so that we can easily remove the duplicate elements. But definitely sets do not maintain the order. So if we need the order, if order is important, in that case, we cannot use that technique. So again, set is also having this set constructor. So we can also define a set with the set constructor. So what if we want to define an empty set? What will happen if we want to define an empty set? Now, as you have already seen that if we use list, if we declare list with square brackets, then if we use this, then the type of A will become what? It will become a list. Same thing will happen with tuple. If we use this, then A will become a tuple. Same thing will happen with string. If we will use this, then it will become a string, but empty string. So what is the way to define an empty set? Now, as we remember that we were using curly braces for dictionary also. And we have also seen that if we use these curly braces, then this will become a dictionary. Then how we can define an empty set? So to define an empty set, as you can guess, you must be correctly guessing that we need to use the constructor of this. So if we will use this set constructor, what will happen? It will give you an empty set. So it has become an empty set. You can check the type of it. And it has become an empty set here. So this is the only way to define an empty set. We cannot use curly braces because that will be creating a dictionary in that scenario. And what about single element? What about single element? If we have this, so as you can see, if we add single element, then it will automatically detect, okay, this is having a single value. So this is a set. If we add this syntax, so it will understand, okay, this is a dictionary because we are having key value pair, we are having single value, then it will be a set. So there is no issue with a single element, but there will be issue with empty set because empty dictionary is also defined with the curly braces. So for empty set, we only need to use this set. Now we have accessed element, we have added elements. And as we mentioned that we cannot access individual elements with the help of indexing. So we cannot also change individual elements with the help of indexing. So what else we can do? We can remove elements. So how we can remove element from a set? So let's see how to remove elements. Before removing and after removing, print statements are here. Now what we want to do is we want to remove something. So let us print it somewhere at above animals. So we can see it is having cat, cow, dog, and so on. So what if I want to remove this animal from this set, this code? So what I can use is animals dot remove goat. And let us also catch this. If it is, let us see what it is returning, if at all it is returning something. So print x and then let's run this cell. So as we have run this cell, you can see we have already mentioned what's to be removed. So it is not returning anything because it is very obvious that it has been removed. The goat element has been removed from the animal set. So there is nothing to be informed. So that is why it is not returning anything. So remove is not returning anything. It is returning none. And before removing, you can see this element is present in the set. But after removing, it is not present. So it has been successfully removed from the set. Now, what if whatever we are trying to remove that is not present in the set? For example, now you can see that goat has been already removed. So goat is not present anymore. So if I try to run this again, what will happen? So it will say that there is a key error, goat. What's the error? What does that mean? That means whatever we are trying to remove from this set, that does not exist. Now, if we want some elements to be removed, if it is present, otherwise do not throw any error. One way to do this is implementing some try catch, which is exception handling. But apart from that also, there is another way of doing it. So what's that? Let's look into it. So if it is existing element, then it will be removed. Otherwise, do nothing, not even throw an error. So how to do that? There is another method, which is discard. So if we will use discard, even if the element does not exist, it will not throw any error. So let us see. So here you can see goat is not present. So nothing has been changed in this list, in this set. But what happened is it has not thrown any error. Now let us check if the element exists, what happens to that. Let's say we want to remove monkey. And let's run this cell. So as you can see, it has removed monkey from the set. So it is working perfectly. So if the key is present, it is being removed. If it is not present, then it is not doing anything, but it is not even complaining that it is not present. Why are you asking me to do it? Fine. So that's all about discard. Now another thing is pop. If we do not know what we want to delete, we just want to get one element out of the set. So we can use pop. But as it is not maintaining any order, we do not know which element will be popped out. But definitely it will return the element whichever has been popped out. So we will get to know that, okay, this is the element that has been popped out. So let us see how pop works. We don't need to mention any element here because pop does not need any information. Pop will pop out some element from it. So let us write removed or maybe popped element is this. So let us run this and let's see what is getting popped out. So here you can see there was cow, zebra, dog, tiger, and so on. And what has been popped out? That is the cow. We can check another time. Now you can see zebra has been popped out. So this is in this way, anything can be popped out. We cannot predict what is going to pop out, but we can take that out and we can process it if we want to do any further processing with that particular element. So this is how sets work. There are more to it and we will discuss the rest of the part in our next videos. Thank you for watching and keep implementing.